Hello, my little Luxxes. This is another episode of Coffee and Cosplay, and I am your host, cosplayer Charsie Luxxx. And today I am telling a personal story on theme for Funhouse of Horrors. Hello. Welcome back to another episode of Coffee and Cosplay. And yes, I did introduce myself as cosplayer Charsie Luxxx, but if you cannot tell that I am not in cosplay today. But if you would have seen my last episode for Charsie Chats, I had announced that I had some issues and hiccups ended up happening.
Emotional damage!
Going to be more relaxed because that was overwhelming and having my videos corrupted, and I needed to be more low-key, not get all not get all spruced up into another cosplay look because it is a lot of work, y'all. Oh my god. So, as most of you know, that everything that I do here for Luxxy Charms on my Charsie Luxxx YouTube channel, I do all the work myself. I do my own makeup, I do my own costumes, I do my own research, so I do my own scripts, and on top of that, I do my own recording. I do all my own edits. So finding out that you have something that is unusable and you go through all that time and that work and you get to the point where you just feel so upset and overwhelmed, and I just decided, you know what? Let's let this be a learning point for myself to think, hey, remember when I went to college for art school and we had to learn to not be a perfectionist? And the idea was that we had projects, and this would have been my introduction to art and drawing and everything. We had to do this really in-depth project where you made this piece and it was supposed to be like a close-up, over-exaggerated, non-representational idea of an apple drawing, and you get done with it and when you feel so good about it and you come in and the teacher tells you this was the original day that this project was supposed to be due, and he's like, okay, because we were all set up around the room, had everything set up on the wall, because that's usually on the day that it was due. You would put your drawing or painting or whatever we had done up on the wall, and we would present it and we would all discuss it and talk about it and critique it. So we were all sitting there, all of us in the class, sitting around our projects. They were up on the wall ready for our presentations, and the teacher comes in, he goes, oh, those all look really great. Now I want you to take those drawings, take them down, and just erase everything and restart.
What? What the fuck?
And we were all mortified and like, what the fuck is he talking about? We just spent a week on these drawings and now you want us just to erase it. And after that day, you kind of very quickly learn that just don't have an attachment to it. And it kind of was a life lesson for all of us as artists that our art instructor had told us. Always keep in mind that a drawing and a painting is never finished. It just stops at interesting points. So at that point, he also wanted us to learn to detach ourselves from our work, that even though we could see it as something as perfect, he's like, I want to break you out of that mold of having this perfectionist idea that you can always start over. And that's included with anything in life. No matter what you think you have, you can always start over. So I'm letting that be kind of my little lesson that, yes, I got everything done and completed for my recordings and that, but it doesn't matter because I can always redo it. yes, I made the decision that for coffee and cosplay that I wouldn't be in cosplay, that I would just do my Charsie chats, do my coffee and cosplay, because before I had done my movie review. That is a lot of work. And I need a little bit more time to reset because I had dressed up in the cosplay to be Dollface from the film for the Funhouse Massacre. I just needed to give myself a little bit of a reset. So do forgive me for not being in cosplay today.
Bad suit.
But like I said, for the month of August, our theme is Funhouse of Horrors. Now, before I did I was toying with a lot of different things. I had carnivals from hell, or fairs are hell. Then I think I went on to Funhouses of Hell. And then it just hit me, and I'm like, why don't I just do Funhouse of Horrors? I'm like, that's got a nice catchy ring to it. So we are officially on Funhouse of Horrors. And since we are ending out the summer and we have a bunch of fairs and carnivals, and of course we're getting closer to Halloween and the autumn season, which means we are going to be getting to haunted houses. So that is what I'm going to be talking about today, is the different kind of fun houses and that kind of experiences that I've had personally. And I know I've shared several different stories in the past, especially on my other podcast channel that I had done with DC on Little Channel of Horrors. I had extensively talked about the fact that me and my husband and several of our friends used to help with a horror attraction. And in fact, in this horror attraction, we used to light one of our friends on fire. Now, obviously, this is, do not try this at home, do not do this yourself, and that we had several different precautions, and the fact that we also had permission to do this as well, and that we had to prove that we were safe to do this skit. So, yes, we had a horror theme where we would light our friend on fire. And we went through several different kinds of skits that we would do as well. We had the skit where, gosh, I think we did one year, we did Mortal Kombat. We did another year where we had Citizens versus Zombies. Another year that we did a D&D group, so we were all fantasy-based creatures and everything. And one of our favorites was when we all dressed up as clowns, and that's when we would make the joke that when we would light our friend on fire, that we would call him a birthday candle and light him on fire. So, once again, do not do that at home. It's not safe. I can't really say we were professionals, but we were very safe and professional about how we handled it. And like I said, we had permission and we had a lot of safety precautions. But I also love to go to haunted attractions. And one of my favorite attractions here in the state of Illinois is down in Cordova, Illinois, called the Asylum of Mad Dreams. Now, it's quite a drive to get down there, but it's nice for us to go there anyways, because usually in the month of October, it starts getting a little bit chilly outside. So it's kind of nice going down south a little bit of ways, and it's a lot warmer. Because not a lot of people realize how big Illinois is, that if you are going vertically down the state, it is a 7-hour drive. So if you go from one end of Illinois all the way down to the tip where it connects to Kentucky, oh my God, there is a huge temperature difference. It is night and day how different it is. But yeah, we like going to the Asylum of Mad Dreams, or Asylum of Mad Dreams Scream Park, however you want to call it. What's interesting is that when I was looking it up and everything, and it appears like they're already open for the weekends. Like I could actually see hours there. I don't know if it's a misrepresentation due to the fact that that will be their hours when they're in season and everything. But I mean, they're the type of attraction that I could see them always being open and always running and everything. I guess I could have done a lot more research when I had saw that and been like, maybe I should be investigating and seeing if I can go down there a little bit early, because it would make sense that it is a very big haunted house attraction, or the fact that it can also feel like a haunted barn, but it takes place outside and inside several different buildings, and it's pretty large, and it is to the point where it's a little bit expensive. It's a little on the pricey side. Granted, in my eyes, yes, it's worth it. But when you go, be prepared to wait in line and everything. But at least they do have a little vending cart thing that you can go get some food while you wait. And it's one of those mixtures where it's like, yes, it is worth the money, but it is on the pricey side. That if you are interested in going and seeing this haunted attraction, that at least be forewarned to have quite a bit of cash on you.
Shut up and take my money!
Now, one of my favorite parts about the asylum is the fact that when you first go into the attraction, one of the first things they do is they have you on a very old school bus. And you go around on the outside, and there's a bus driver that is supposed to be driving you around trying to get you away from the zombie apocalypse. I cannot. And try to get you away from the zombie apocalypse that is going on around you. And it's a lot of fun. It is probably my favorite part of the asylum, and it happens right away. And so what's really cool is you open up with that, and I mean the rest of the park is amazing. Yes, my favorite part happens right away, but the rest of it is just as fun, just as cool. And like I said, that the whole opening with that school bus, and that you were going through the fields, and it's like bumpy, and it looks like you're going to run into trees, and you go over logs and things, and it's super cool. Obviously, if you have problems that you deal with epilepsy and that, like, I mean, obviously you shouldn't go to any kind of a haunted attraction like that, because there are lots of strobe lights and everything that could cause you to have a seizure or an episode. So please be forewarned for that as well. But I mean, that comes with every single kind of like horror attraction, because that is like a number one thing that they do. And you also have the other parts that you go through where you actually are going through a little section of a town that has a zombie outbreak happening. And that is really cool. There's a section where it's a bunch of scarecrows come out. Now, it does change quite often as well too, which is the other part that's really cool. Because yes, you feel like if you're putting the amount of money that you're going into an attraction, that every year, why would you want to go if it's the exact same thing? So they do make adjustments, they do make changes, and I have noticed that every time I have gone, something is different, something is advanced. So the one year that we went and they had the scarecrows, and then the following year we went, the scarecrows weren't there again. So it could be a rotation thing, they could bring them back. I mean, scarecrows are scary as shit, scarecrows are scary as shit anyways, so I mean, it'd be easy to bring them back. And there's only a very few times where I'll get like super spooked in a haunted house like that. Like, I love going in there, I love seeing everything, experiencing it, and the few times that I do actually get scared from a jump scare, it thrills me, and it's like, bravo, good job, because I mean, it takes a lot in those haunted attractions to scare me. Which is funny, because I was the total opposite way back in the day. Because I have talked about before that I used to not like horror. I used to not like this kind of stuff. And it wasn't till 8th grade that I started getting into it. But I was such a scaredy cat when I first started watching horror. But that's why I got into the horror, was the fact that it gave this adrenaline, this rush, and just being scared. So I didn't like haunted attractions for the longest time. And which is weird, because one of my ex-boyfriends, that's the funniest part, we had I mean, do you even count it as dating when it's way back in like junior high and high school? Is it really dating? Just and he became a good friend afterwards anyways, so that's the other funny part. And I'll just say went to my friend's house because his family owned a haunted attraction that was very popular in northern Illinois way back in the day. And that what was really cool was that in the off season when nothing was going on, we would go and hang out in the buildings, and that was really cool. So we got to have all the behind the scenes and get to see all the scenery and everything going on. So that made it extra special. So then when you start going to the attraction, when everything is there, it's like, oh, I know where all the secret places are, so I know where someone's going to be jumping out.
Surprise, motherfucker.
But oh my gosh, obviously I love them now. I'm so desensitized, and I mean that should be a subject that we should talk about, because I'll even touch base on it when I talk about the Funhouse massacre, because that's one of the main lines that one of the big villains even says, is that he's like, man, you guys are desensitized.
I am amazed at how desensitized you all are. I've been lapping up gore like a ride at Disneyland. You truly are sick individuals.
But you know what? Kind of blame society for that as well, because there comes a point where we have to be desensitized, because every day we look at the news, something horrific is going on, and it's like, jeez. I don't know if I blame horror movies. I don't think I should even blame video games or anything like that. Like, I blame society at this point, because real life is more scary than anything else, and that real life is its own kind of a horror story. So
No, don't like that.
I don't know. But you know how much I love horror movies. We know how much I love haunted attractions. And like I said, that if you are ever in the Illinois area, or if you're close by Cordova, Illinois, I would definitely give the Asylum of Mad Dreams a chance and go check it out. Let me know what you think of it in that. I don't want to give away too much of it, just in case somebody does decide to go and check it out. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below, what are some of your favorite haunted attractions that you have checked out? I mean, I've had a ton of them, and the fact that it's like, I mean, we could just go on and on and on about a list of the local ones or going to bigger themed ones. One of my favorite ones is that when I was down in Orlando, Florida for Halloween and going to the Haunted Mansion, but it was themed extra special during that time because it was Halloween. So I thought that was really fun. And that was when I was a kid. So, of course, everything scared the shit out of me. Yeah, good times. Now it's just real life that scares me. Gotta love it. But yeah, I really, really hope that you all this year, for the Halloween season, the fall season, that you will be able to go out and explore several different haunted attractions. And I'm hoping that I can get down to Cordova this year. I will have to see. Like I said, it is quite a bit of a drive to go down there to see it and everything. But there are more stuff that is more local. There's also a bunch up in Wisconsin that I wouldn't mind checking out. So yeah, I'll have to let you know some of the ones that I may have on my list, or let you know after I go and visit and tell you all about it in another coffee and cosplay episode. But thank you so much, everyone, for coming and joining me for another episode of Coffee and Cosplay. And like I said before, please let me know some of your favorite memories when it comes to haunted attractions or asylums or just any kind of like haunted attraction. And if you would like to follow me on my other social medias, you can follow me on my Twitter for Charsie Luxxx with 3 X's, or on my Instagram or Threads for Charsie87, or also on my Blue Sky that is also for Charsie Luxxx with 3 X's. And as always, I am the afterlife of the party, and I would love for you to come join me here in the afterlife of the party, and to also remember to always slay. Subscribe, like, and always be yourself. Until next time, my little Luxxes, I hope you have a Luxy Charms kind of day. Bye! That we had a project that you had to work, I believe it was, well, it wasn't charcoal. I'm trying to think, it's the pastels and everything that, well, regardless. So, and because usually so be forewarned that if you are interested in going and seeing this little park, because that's one of the lines that one of the main